I would love to have a professional do my video, but I just can't justify writing the check or having that money out of my bank account. But if I'm sitting on credit, I get to do the things that I want to do, know I should do, and I don't have to use my cash to do it. I've traded my unused time, my capacity for an asset, and then multiply it back for business as service. Always wanted a VA. Well, then let's barter for that. The social media posts that we know we should be doing, and we say, oh, I'm going to do it myself. Now, instead of using cash, let's barter for it. And we keep on getting free as entrepreneurs to be doing only what we should be doing and farming out the rest.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Amplify Your Business. Today, I'm really excited because I get to talk to a good friend of mine, Scott King, who is a business coach, but also somebody who's always looking for innovative things that are going to help our business community. And so he is bringing a new model into the Edmonton marketplace, and he's here to talk to me about it in his capacity as a regional director of Exmerce Edmonton North. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Well, thank you, Lance. It's an absolute pleasure. I so respect what you're doing for the business community, and it's an honor to be a part of this with you today. And I'm especially excited to talk about my next new adventure.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is one of the things that I love about entrepreneurs, right? We are always looking for opportunities to really serve the audiences in which we're so passionate about. And you are a guy who has so much passion for entrepreneurs and helping them. And this whole barter concept is pretty new to me. And I'm sure it's really new to a lot of people, even though, that's really the beginning of commerce was really all about barter. And so I'm just really excited to learn more about what you're doing. So I'd love it if you could just, take me back in time. How'd you get involved with this? Where did this idea come from? And what are you trying to accomplish, I guess, with Exmerce?
Love to. And before anybody unplugs, let me just say we're not trading 10 chickens for a goat. Okay, this is new age barter, an actual currency, currency that we're pioneering. Let me back up and tell for the entrepreneurs, you'll appreciate. Often we get a call with an opportunity, and I got that call from our founder Nelson in Calgary. And he said, Scott, I'm bringing my barter exchange from Calgary to Edmonton, and I hear that maybe you're the guy that could help me grow it. From there, I have a few questions for Nelson. And my first question is, well, Nelson, I don't want to be practicing and bringing something to my network that isn't proven. How long have you been at this? And he said, well, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary. So I said, okay, that's a check mark. Well, with that, Nelson, how many people are in your barter exchange? Because I've heard of barter, but I hadn't heard of this Exmerce barter exchange. He said, well, we're 500 plus businesses in Calgary, right? And I said, well, from there, I guess, if you got 500 members, I'm curious, are they actually transacting? Are they doing business together? And we're trending this year towards $3 million in trade. So longevity, we're serving entrepreneurs. They don't stay around unless they're getting value. And to know that they're trading gave me enough confidence to continue the conversation and begin doing my research. From there, okay, let's research a little bit deeper. And I stumble across a company out of Australia who is currently doing 700 million.
Oh,
700 million in trades.
Yeah.
Again, trending for $1 billion. This is an entire commerce is impacting a country.
That's
so we're always looking for what is the ceiling on this, and it's unlimited. And the other thing that got really intriguing for me, and I'll tell you this: my son, after hockey the other night, we went to Subway and we ordered a combo. My wife comes out and she says, $23. I said, wow, this inflation thing is real. It really is.
Yeah.
And so with that, we've got entrepreneurs looking for ways to preserve cash, looking for ways to expand their network. And maybe, Lance, would it be helpful if I shared, who this is for and who it's not for? Would that?
Most definitely, yeah, because I would imagine there's a certain kind of business that really gravitates to this, right?
Yes, exactly. And first of all, when I'm explaining it, I say, all right, if 10 here is you are absolutely maxed out with business, that you're charging what you should, 10 here, and down here at 0 is you started today. All right, where are you on the scale as far as capacity? And I've heard 3 to 6. I haven't stumbled across anybody who has said, I'm at 10 and I can't keep up. So with that, I say, all right, if we're 3 to 7 or 8, you've got some room there. If you're 10, the last thing you want to be doing is bartering your services or products.
Okay, so let me just break this down, just
Yeah.
make sure our audience fully understands this, especially the people who maybe aren't watching but are listening right now. So if you were to plot a business, your business on a chart or a line, and that line starts at 0 and goes to 10, 10 being you're maxed out. You're just really maxed out in terms of your capacity. You got enough business then, that you can handle at this moment in time. And so if you're at that level, you probably don't need to be engaged in a barter exchange because everything's running really smooth. You're maxed out at your capacity. But if you're at the lower end, so 3 to 6 kind of capacity range, that means you've got lots of room to grow. You've got extra capacity. You can do more. And so this might be a really good fit. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly. Well, said it better than I did, Lance. And what we want to do is we want to turn unused capacity into an asset.
Mm,
Okay, think of the dental chair. When that hour goes by and the chair is empty, that's an hour they'll never get back.
yeah.
Okay, so why wouldn't we see if we can turn that into an asset? Now, the problem with traditional bartering, okay, when you think of the contra arrangement, first we need a coincidence of events. What you have, what I have, need to, we need to see a fit there. All right, now, in my experience, someone usually gets the shorter end of the stick. Okay, and that doesn't build long-term relationships. I have networked for 20 years, and it's all about friendships and business relationships like yours, Lance. And we have to add value back and forth for the long haul. Okay, so we've got this challenge. We don't get a coincidence events, or someone gets a short end of the stick. So with Exmerce Barter Exchange, what we do is we trade for a service, and instead of being a direct trade, you get Exmerce dollars, these barter credits that you can spend with any of the members in Alberta. Okay, so if I'm doing business in Edmonton and there's somebody doing something virtual in Calgary that I can trade for, I'll barter for my services. I'll take those credits and go ahead and buy it with any of the 500 members.
Okay, I get it. Then in terms of like what the exchange does is it, I guess, facilitates those transactions, tracks then the value that is getting
Yeah.
exchanged, and
Yes.
then gives you essentially a virtual account that you can then draw on to purchase services from anybody else, I presume, within the network. Is that how that works?
Exactly, exactly. And you touched on something. Well, CRA, there was the Barter Act in the 80s that was released. So this is all above board. And CRA treats a barter credit the same as they do with a Canadian dollar. So it's dollar for dollar.
Okay.
Invoice, you charge GST. Now, just to clarify that, whether I get the invoice and I pay with Visa, MasterCard, wire transfer, e-transfer, or give you a bag of cash, it doesn't matter. We still track it and treat it as a regular transaction. So this is not a way to avoid paying taxes or to hide the income.
Okay, and I think that's a really good point to make because I think a lot of people maybe were thinking, okay, well, the advantage maybe is I'm doing this under the table, then, so to speak, and so I can get away from the tax man, and I don't have to charge GST. Everybody's happy, right? But that's not the case. Has to be all done, transacted legally, above board, just like
Yes,
you would any other transaction in business. So
exactly.
so then what is the real major advantage then if it's not that where I get to hide my money from
Mm-hmm.
CRA?
Yes.
If that's not the advantage, what do you see as being the massive advantages then for businesses who are getting involved with this?
Well, let's go back to that unused capacity. Again, I can't get that back. The other thing is that Lance, we've done some networking. We go to networking meetings and events and all of that. And I don't know about you, but I kind of have my shield up. I just don't really want to be sold. I don't even like, the question, what do you do? And, I'm a business coach and they back into the bushes, they just, so with that, now I want to flip that. When Exmerce members come together, there's something very unique about the event because I come with the intent to buy. I'm looking for a dance partner, someone to trade with. All right. So I come with the intent to buy and I've got the resources to do it. Okay. Which is, a great separator for a networking event. From there, we find the right partner to trade with, or there's 10 in the room. I also find that this is a great way to enhance people's business and lifestyle. And I'll be more specific. There's things, well, let's use your services. I would love to have a professional do my video, but I just can't justify writing the check or having that money out of my bank account. But if I'm sitting on credit, I get to do the things that I want to do, know I should do, and I don't have to use my cash to do it. I've traded my unused time, my capacity for an asset, and then multiply it back for business as service. Always wanted a VA. Well, then let's barter for that. The social media posts that we know we should be doing, and we say, oh, I'm going to do it myself. Bookkeeping. Well, my spouse is a bookkeeper, can put numbers together. All of these things are us settling for less than ideal. Or you want to talk about, buy back your time. Okay, a great book. I forget who wrote it, but Buy Back Your Time. And the principle here is that we start with administrative tasks and we buy that back. Now, instead of using cash, let's barter for it. And we keep on getting free as entrepreneurs to be doing only what we should be doing and farming out the rest. Did I answer the question, Lance, as far as the additional advantages?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think, I definitely don't want to have this lost on our audience in terms of excess capacity, right? Because I think this is the key part of it is you might not be able to, if I'm operating at 70% and I want to obviously be operating at 100% capacity within my network, I might not be able to sell that extra 5%, 10%, 15%, or whatever it is at this particular moment in my business, right? But with the Exmerce exchange, you now have a community of people who are turning to the directory to see what other services that they can exchange that value that they've accumulated with, right?
Exactly. On the
Yeah.
lifestyle part of things, I've had 3 red light therapy sessions. I promise you, I wouldn't be doing that unless I met someone through the barter exchange. Chris from Celebrate Light joined our exchange. And what's neat about the way we launched if I may, it's only $300 a year to be part of the exchange, so it's not
Really?
a big barrier of entry for
No,
people.
that's nothing compared to a lot of networking organizations I belong to.
Well, exactly. And with that, we also give you 150 Exmerce dollars barter credits to get you started because I believe that if you can find something to trade for quickly, this is valuable. That was neat. You and I could get our hair done, Lance, and save a whole bunch of money, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
a quick cut for sure.
yeah, there you go. But someone who's dropping $200 on foil highlights and a cut and all of that would just love the opportunity to trade for that. So in Edmonton, one of the things we're looking to do is really get those personal services in on the foundation and then the business services so I can use it personally, go to the restaurant, get a massage, those types of things. But also I could retain people like you, Lance, to help multiply my credits into real cash.
Yeah, love it. Okay, so now knowing how invested you are in networking and building those real solid networks out there of other business professionals and so on, this has been, that's a big part of how you grew your business. And I'd imagine what you advise a lot of other businesses to do. I'm guessing this is not just a platform. There's probably some other networking or something included in this, right? So talk to me a little bit about what else you guys are doing over there at Exmerce.
Yeah, well, I'm blown away. In Calgary, they have mastermind events. And I'm watching. We're launching Edmonton here, and I'm watching Eventbrite explode with people coming to the mastermind event in Calgary. It's not for another week and a half, and just check 98 people have already registered for that event in Calgary. And we do next to no selling. We're not there to sell. We're there to bring business owners together and share ideas. In Calgary, it's you got 10 people at your table, and you get a topic, and you discuss and you help each other out in a very efficient way. Ultimately, looking for a connection that you can go deeper with. For here, I'm very excited to launch, and we've began partnering with Jennifer from the Epic Market. Lance, you've been there before?
Man, what a facility
Yeah.
Jennifer has got there. Her and Luke have just done such an incredible job creating really just a pinnacle of architectural design. And then the food market, they've got all these different types of food that you can purchase within, like little, almost like separate restaurants. It's like
Yes.
really cool place.
Amazing. Yeah, so we're launching, and we're leveraging the Epic Market. We have that third floor. We're looking to bring those that are a little bit intrigued by the ability to turn their unused capacity into an asset. Also, those that just simply want to get out and network. And through networking, a few years ago on LinkedIn, I made a comment to a post by Matthew Pollard, the author of The Introvert's Edge,
Yeah,
how the
great speaker.
quiet and shy. You interviewed Matthew, right? I
Yeah,
interviewed
actually
him.
he's been a guest here on our show. Yeah, what a great guy, incredibly smart and
Yes,
so successful. I can't remember how many businesses he's
yes,
created. It's
yeah,
just enormous, and yeah, great author too.
yeah. So to land that, reached out, LinkedIn, commented on a post, and this guy who was very successful, authored 2 books, commented back, and we just began. Next thing I know, I'm doing an event here in Edmonton just when we came out of the pandemic, and it was kind of the first live event, and we'd learned so much about Zoom meetings. I said to Matthew, how about we Zoom you in to a VIP Cineplex Odeon theater, and we'll see if there's an appetite for this. And you were there? Yeah. So it was a
I was
buzz,
there.
right? People like, oh my gosh, big sound, big light. And Matthew was so impressed with that, and how we pulled that off. We've stayed connected. And now with the launch of this, I just said, Matthew, I'm launching a barter exchange. And he says, how can I help? Very
Awesome.
generous. All right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're going to be simulcasting Matthew Pollard in, again, The Introvert's Edge. But I've assigned him 2 topics. One is storytelling. And I think you talked about the power of stories in your interview with him. And it's something he's passionate about, how that impacts the brain, and the way that we need to weave stories into everything we do. The other is niching, the power of niching your business down. And he said, you can either be niched, or you'll have to be the loudest in the room.
Yeah.
Isn't that clever? So he's going to be teaching on that. They've got a screen there that's the entire width of the third floor that are going to drop down. Big screen, big sound. And the bar will be open for us to have. You had a very special drink at the Epic Market, didn't you, lads?
Man, they have the coolest mixologist there who just makes some incredible cocktails. Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so that's an event that's coming up January 30th, 2 to 5 p.m. with those optional after party. We'll be staying on, and seeing, just building. The staying on is where the real relations with the real conversations begin to happen.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So if everybody who's listening here, if you're in the Edmonton area, definitely you want to come down and check this out. So this is going to be the launch party for Exmerce. We're going to have Scott obviously there talking about what Exmerce is, explaining that a little bit more detail. I think you're going to have Nelson come up as well, right?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
true? Yeah.
That's
So the
correct.
founder of Exmerce, he's going to come up and meet everybody and explain a little bit more as to what his vision is for Exmerce in the long run here. And then obviously there's going to be a room full of entrepreneurs, like-minded people who are trying to grow their businesses and are wanting to collaborate with other people who have that same growth mindset. And so that's going to be really exciting. And then to have Matthew Pollard there is just the icing on the cake in terms of having a real powerful speaker talk about the things that he's passionate about that are going to help us as business owners, as entrepreneurs, really grow our businesses as well. So that's really
Mhm.
cool. And then the food, the drinks, I think
Yeah.
you're given for the price of the ticket. What are the tickets?
It's
$50 and you get
well,
a coupon as well or something?
Yeah, well, actually, we're doing a $25 ticket. Okay, we're not
25.
here. We're not doing this to make money. We're here to make connections. So, $25 ticket with a $20 meal voucher, and our friends at Sheetcast have generously covered the cost of everybody's meal. So you'll be able to take your ticket, your voucher for a meal to any of the restaurants, and they have stuff that 18, $19. If you want to get the surf and turf, you'll just pay the difference. But $25 ticket with a $20 meal voucher, so it's definitely high value. And
Really cool.
Lance, I want to just back up to Nelson coming here and make this really practical as far as how barter works. First of all, he wants to bring the entire team to show his support for Edmonton. So we'll have a half a dozen Exmerce team members here. And one of our newest members owns a beautiful Airbnb on Ada Boulevard, the Blue House.
This is Oscar, right?
Oscar,
This is
yes.
Oscar? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Oscar, Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, his Airbnb is free, available, not free, available. So we said, well, we'll trade you for that unused time, your Airbnb, the entire team. He's got 2 units. We'll be able to take care of everybody. And that is a real life example of how barter can improve your life. They could have stayed in a hotel and all of that. Not only is the cost, the environment isn't nearly as beautiful as what my guests coming to Edmonton are going to be able to experience.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, you can preserve the cash flow. I mean, that's the biggest, or not the biggest, but one of the bigger advantages as well. It's just trying to manage cash flow. That's always a challenge when it comes to business, right? And so this allows you to do that. And that's huge. That's
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
Yep.
And our guests might be wondering, all right, well, how's it going in Edmonton? Lance asked me, how's it going in Edmonton?
Oh, I definitely want to ask you. Yeah. So you've just started though. So
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
has it been received here in the Edmonton marketplace?
And me and my wisdom decided around the first week of December that that's a good time to launch something, not realizing that 2 weeks in December we're going to completely be out of commission.
Yeah, pretty shut down around here. Yeah.
Falling on Wednesday, basically everybody shut down. But just looking at, we've got a dozen businesses already joined in Edmonton. Of course, we have access to many businesses that work virtually out of Calgary. The red light therapy, Airbnb, we've got a tile company, Epic Market, we've got a commercial and residential painter, roofer, a wonderful coach who is in charge of the alternative board. He owns a tab franchise. And he just joined us. And I was just today, I'll wrap up with this. I got Matthew Pollard introduced me to Janice Porter in Vancouver. Matthew thought we knew each other because we're both from Canada.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Matthew's an Aussie who's in the States, I think.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, he introduces me to Janice, who is a LinkedIn specialist. All right. And she's in Vancouver, but she liked this so much. She said, Scott, your members will improve their LinkedIn pages. I'll take the credits now. I'm sure there's someone I can do business with, or I'll just hold on to them until we decide to move to BC. Again, real practical ways to enhance the people's business. We don't know what we should be doing on LinkedIn, so she's an absolute expert. So real practical ways to improve your business and your life.
Totally. And I'm happy to also announce that we at Ample Media are going to be a member as well. And so we're signing up. Yeah. And so we're going to be offering marketing support and services to and content creation, video production, all those kinds of things as well. So we're really excited to utilize some of our excess capacity, save that cash flow, and really get involved in this community that you're creating. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a wild success. And I think you have a goal here of generating, the first 50, you're calling them the founding 50 members, I think, right? So
yes.
Did you want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, really, this will be only as successful as the way we start. I do some public speaking and I say to the crowd, finish this sentence, all is well. And they say ends well. All is well that ends well. And I disagree. It's all is well that starts well. So my founding members are going to be people that either I know, like, and trust, or Lance, if you said to me, hey, I'm going to introduce you, they're already in. So we want to make sure that founding 50 are world class at what they do. great people to work with. And then with that, when you find a trade partner, they're just so valuable that you got to tell the world.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So if anybody who is listening to this wants to check out more about Exmerce, where should we send them then?
Well, our website is exmerce.com, but personally, I would prefer to have a chat. Okay.
Awesome.
You can reach out to Scott King on LinkedIn. You'll see how Janice has reinvented my LinkedIn page to actually tell people what I do and make it nice and clear.
Awesome.
Scott at exmerce.com. And what I love to do is very, Lance, you know, I'm very tight with time in a good way, making sure that in 20 minutes, we have determined whether this would be a great fit. And ultimately, the worst case is we'll have a great conversation about your business and potentially be friends for moving forward.
100%, 100%. And you're a connector. And this is one of the things that I love. And this is, I got connected to you through another connector, and you've connected with me with so many other people as well. And so this is the thing, regardless of whether you become a member of Exmerce, which
That's
I
right.
think you'd be crazy not to. But if you didn't, it's still a good connection to have. So Scott King is one of those good guys that you want to have in your corner, and he is he's going to help you out in one way or another. So the event again, give me the date, the time, and where they can get tickets.
Thursday, January 30th, 2 to 5 p.m. Eventbrite, we've got the ticket, just Exmerce Edmonton. It'll pop up there. We've got the $25 tickets currently. And I expect we'll just leave it at that. And no worries, don't feel any pressure there. But if you could grab your ticket, it'll allow us to plan a little bit better, for the kitchen and all of these meals.
And so for those of you who don't know how to spell it, Exmerce is EXMERCE. Okay, EX is the key there. Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate you stopping by today, talking a little bit about barter, what that is in this modern world, and how you are bringing that to Edmonton. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Appreciate the fact that you're supporting so many entrepreneurs in the things that you do. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lance. And I'll wrap up with this. People often hear me say this: you never know what good will come when you get around good people with good intentions. And you're a good person with good intentions. And I want to thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
For those of you who are listening and enjoyed this episode, you want to check out some stories about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs who've come before you or are in the battles of the trenches right now, and you want to learn how they're overcoming their adversities. Or if you want to learn about other things that are really going to help elevate your business, we've got a slate of experts that we talk to on a regular basis over at amplifyyourbusiness.ca. That's where you're going to find the archives. And of course, if you love just listening to a podcast because you're an avid walker, or you're in the gym, or you're driving down the highway, whatever, then pop in our podcast by searching Amplify Your Business on any of the major platforms out there that are streaming podcasts. Until next time, everybody have a prosperous day.